My name is Idong Sitimano Ludo. I lead the Digital Access Program lead, country advisor for the Forum Commonwealth and Development Office, FCDO. If you look at the last few years, Nigeria's digital economy or digital sector is the fastest growing, averaging between 15 to 17% year on year. During the COVID year lockdown of 2020, Nigeria went on recession. You probably would be aware. The tech sector or the ICT sector was the biggest single reason why Nigeria moved out of recession. It was the fastest growing. Still retains that position as at 2021 as the fastest growing sector of the economy, taking millions of people out of poverty. So while that is the case, there's also the considerable risk that a lot of people can be left behind. While we are expanding the net to take people out of poverty, we ensure that no one, women and girls, people living with disability, the most vulnerable in the society are not left behind. If you look at the numbers, it's staggering in terms of one, internet penetration, two, the number of people who have digital skills. So the Global Digital Access Program, which is a flagship intervention from the UK government, looks to close this gap on connectivity, for example, which sits at about 38% in Nigeria at the moment on broadband. On digital skills, where more than 60% of the population do not have the relevant digital skills, of course, creating locally relevant digital content, but also doing that in a safe and secure way, where people who come online are safe and secure. And that is why the Digital Access Program combines both models and enablers on connectivity expansion, but also cyber security, where we're supporting on that front as well. And as a matter of fact, through the Digital Access Program, we've worked with many stakeholders across Nigeria in the last few years to enable not just expansion of connectivity, but also to keep online safe. For example, we worked with the Federal Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy to develop the new National Broadband Plan, the 5-year plan to expand connectivity to about 75% by 2025. On the cyber front too, we also worked with the federal government. Of course, this time last year, President Buhari launched the new National Cybersecurity Policy and Strategy, which we supported the federal government to develop that to ensure global best standard in keeping people safe online while onboarding more into the digital space. We've also worked with some key stakeholders in Nigeria, like the regulatory authority, the NCC, and the Ministry of Communication, to remove systemic barriers to connectivity expansion, like the right-of-way policy and regulatory reforms, which fortunately we've recorded significant success around that, with many states undertaking reforms on that front. So while expanding the tech ecosystem, it is important that it's done in a collaborative way. So on one side, we have the policymakers. On the other side, we have the industry leaders, we have the private sector, we have the civil society, we even have the end users, the beneficiaries of the ecosystem. While the policymakers want to make policies for the betterment of the ecosystem, it is important that both the beneficiaries of the policy and the one making the policy sits on the same table and collaborate in such a way that these policies benefit or grow the ecosystem instead of hindering the ecosystem. So the work we're doing with the Policy Innovation Center of the Nigerian Economic Summit Group, for example, with this dialogue in Abuja, is to bring these key sector players in the same room and discuss how to strengthen that collaboration going forward. And you see what we have in Abuja. We have a lot from the policy making side. We have key technical advisors to ministries, to the government on policy making around the digital ecosystem. What you will see slightly different in Lagos is that you have a lot more from the industry side, the private sector, the civil society, the businesses, and the end users of these policies, so that one way or the other, we have everybody in the room, and we strengthen the ecosystem by fostering this closer collaboration between the policymakers and the rest of the ecosystem.